everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, March 26th, 2023, the actual 50th anniversary of Y&R's first air date is today. Y&R first aired on March 26th, 1973, and here we are today in 2023, celebrating 50 years of our favorite show on the very date of the anniversary. That couldn't be more perfect for me. We got to celebrate with the show all week and into next week, and we get to spend the actual anniversary here together. Yay! We have so much to talk about. Y&R has given so many anniversary gifts to the fans this week, starting with the new intro. The moment has arrived! The moment I was waiting for! And presumably the moment that you were waiting for too. So let's kick this off with a poll question. I want you guys to tell me if you like the new intro. Do you give it a thumbs up, or are you not feeling it? Thumbs down. Go to yrchat.com to cast your vote this week for or against the new intro. I'm for it. I give it a thumbs up. I'm content with it, maybe is a better way to say it. Like, it does not blow me back. I do not have to hold on to my wig every time I see it. But what I like about it is the fact that it's simple. It gives me everything I need. It's just a simple background of our cityscape with the characters in the foreground. There's no diamonds floating around in the background. Nothing unnecessary, just basic beauty, just our characters, our actors who play our characters looking absolutely gorgeous. And I really love the Y&R logo with the gold 50-year symbol. It's just a 50 next to the Y&R logo. And I hope they keep that, because I think that 50 is a really great daily reminder for us that the show has been with us for that long. And I also think it's a really good visual cue to newer viewers to maybe check out some of the older material. I mean, this is a show that's been around for half a century, and I really want to be able to feel reminded of that on a daily basis. That feels like it should now be part of the branding. I mean, Y&R's long, rich legacy is as much as a part of the branding as anything else. So I think that was very cool. I also think it's very cool that the cast member photos go from black and white when you first see each person, and then it slowly fades into color. That reminds me that the original Y&R intro was just black and white sketches of the characters and the actors who played them. So I think that seems like it's paying homage to the history right there. And just, I mean, on the overall, everyone looked incredible. Y&R picked great shots for absolutely everyone. I didn't see anyone who I thought looked bad. In my opinion, my favorite, I think, was Crystal Khalil. I thought she looked absolutely just especially stunning in her intro. I also thought that Christian LeBlanc looked hot closing out the intro that we saw on Friday. Everyone looked wonderful. In my opinion anyway. Maybe you didn't quite think so. And that's where we get to chat about it. So So again, go to yrchat.com, vote in the poll about whether or not you overall like the new intro, but also let me know if you have a favorite. Do you have someone who you think looks the absolute best? And ooh, scandal, let me know if you have somebody who you thought looked not so good. On The Talk this week, there was a series of interviews with the Y&R stars, and Melody Thomas Scott, looking gorgeous in just hot pink this week. She looks so good in the Talk interview. But she mentioned during the interview that one of the things she feels sets Y&R apart is that it looks different, that it was meant to look lush. Mission accomplished this week, because lush the gala was. I mean, starting with the brand new exterior shot of the athletic club with the red carpet outside. I mean, Y&R really splurged on that establishing shot. They even superimposed a couple looking like they were walking into the gala through the red carpet. I mean, that was a nice shot to put us in those scenes, and we cannot overlook those establishing shots. It really set the scene. I also really appreciated the touch of having Sally looking out her hotel room window from the Grand Phoenix out, onto the street below, seeing the lights, the traffic, telling us that the town was getting busy, that everyone was getting ready. There was a hustle and a bustle. That got me excited. And, strangely, I didn't leap with excitement the moment that Victor and Nikki walked through the beautiful revolving door of the athletic club the way I thought I would. It didn't thrill me. What I felt was simply home. I just felt comfortable. I felt home. And that's even better in some ways, because home happens to be splashed with red roses all over the place, and champagne, and a red carpet. What did you guys think of the red carpet and the interviews? Because at first, I have to admit, I was not sure. I was afraid. I thought, oh, this could be cheesy. But then I started to relax a little bit, and I began to feel anticipation at seeing everyone walk up. When I realized they were going to be doing it for everyone at their arrival, I started being excited to see, what's everybody going to look like when they showed up? I just felt that there was an anticipation in general as everyone got there. I think Y&R did a really good job of building the anticipation for the party before the party even began. And because I think most of the drama will be taking place next week, let's just talk fashion right up top. This is the fun part, all the glitter and the glitz and the glam. And I have to get this said out of the way. I have to get it said and out of the way. This was not the masquerade ball that I thought that it would be. I was expecting costumes, and I almost didn't realize that that's what I was expecting, but it was. I was expecting a costume ball, probably because that's what the original masquerade ball was, a costume ball. This was a masked ball. The men had their strap-on masks, and the women had their stick masks, and it's fine. It added a little bit of mystery to the scene. I found myself judging and critiquing all of the masks as well. Strap-ons or sticks, which one would you prefer? I'll take a stick. I'll take a stick mask. Because, frankly, all the men looked like Lone Rangers to me. Just a bunch of Lone Rangers wandering the Genoese Junction Prairie. Oh, but the ladies had, a chance to really work the stick mask. All the women used their masks like it was opera glasses, like hoping to help them see the drama better. Like, what's going on here? Let me bring my stick mask up to my face to magnify the moment. That's not how it works, but okay. It was fun giving the ladies the chance to really play up on the masks. There had to have been a moment behind the scenes where everyone was like, okay, well, how much do you want us to raise the mask? How much, what's the mask to face ratio you're looking to go for here? But all right. Not a masquerade ball, a masked ball. Now that we've said that, it's out of the way. And in some ways, I think that's better because number one, it probably left, not dealing with costumes probably left us more money for these fabulous sets that we've got. And number two, if we would have had costumes, we wouldn't have gotten gowns. And I love the gowns. Gowns. Red was reserved for Nikki. I had to say I loved that. Red is Victor's favorite color, apparently, and so Nikki got to be the only one in red. And, that, strangely enough, is the color that I most associate with Y&R. I don't know if you guys feel that way, too, but Y&R is red to me. It's red and white to me, probably because that was what the intro was when I first started watching the show. But so I thought that was appropriate for Nikki, especially as the hostess. Nikki's red gown against the red carpet and all of those red rose displays. I loved those red rose displays. And yes, Nikki's hair was poofed to perfection. She really stood out to me, as she should, as our hostess. But red was not the color of the night. Oh no. Pink was the color of the night. Abby cannot help looking beautiful wherever she goes. That pink sequin dress that she was wearing, the one shoulder, it was to die for. She had the perfect hair, perfect tan against those beautiful pink sparkles. I'm amazed that she was able to pull it together for a formal affair after Amanda practically spit on her apology. But more on that later. Because we're talking about fashion, and pink was the primary color for women. I thought Summer looked absolutely gorgeous in that lovely pink sequin, kind of on a nudish background. She had sort of an old Hollywood hairstyle, too. She looked like Kim Basinger to me. She just was really giving me Hollywood. And Lily also opted for a blushy pink gown. No sequins, though. Lily kept it simple with just a beautiful drapey fabric and a sparkly mask for her to snark at Devon from behind. Really, Lily used the mask. I appreciated that. Navy seemed to be another popular color for the night. Ashley, Jill, Devon, Nate. Oh, God, in the intro. In Nate's intro, it's like he's looking at me. When I watch Nate in the intro, it's like he's making love to me right there. And he had the textured navy blue jacket. But the dark colors just didn't pop quite as much to me. I like it bright and sparkly. And, I mean, nobody was brighter and sparklier than Jack and Diane. They were the couple of the evening. Silver and white. Diane in that stunning silver. I mean, she looked like a disco ball, the most beautiful disco ball at the party. And Jack in the white tuxedo jacket. I mean, I love a man who can wear a white tuxedo jacket. The white is ominous to me, though. Will there be blood on that white tuxedo jacket by the end of the night? I hope not, but white is a big red flag to me. Oh, other couples. I thought that Ashley and Tucker were really cute together. They looked like they were in love, but Tucker's boredom stuck out to me way more than his outfit. I mean, Tucker was practically asleep in the background the entire time. I mean, that man, for doing nothing, really pulled attention. He was so notable in the background. He just his head, sort of head in his hands, head on the bar. I mean, he was just so bored the whole night. And for someone who was giving no action, all the action was right there in Tucker's boredom. And by the way, I did appreciate the fact that his mask had fangs. I think every day I appreciate him even more. couples. I thought that Nick and Adam looked like, if they weren't brothers, they would have been a nice looking couple. Both there in their black on black suits. Sally, for all of the nervousness she had about her outfit, looked gorgeous. She was in a more muted red color. I guess she was just trying to blend this pregnancy right into the background. But that's all right. Sally's okay to blend a little more because it gave Sharon some time to shine. Yes! Sharon coming with Adam as arm candy on her candy glittery gold gown. Sharon, yes, gold. And Michael and Lauren, too, were another beautiful couple. I thought Michael looked great in gray. I mean, that's his color now. I mean, that was a good choice. Michael looks great in gray. And his mask was the most unique, by the way, because it had almost like some amethyst gems on the side of it. And Lauren right next to him looking like a golden goddess. Wait a minute. We had Lauren in gold and Sharon in gold. Where the heck was Golden Glow? Well, I have to reserve a table of fashion space right here, especially for Phyllis. This is her night. She is the woman of the night, and she looked fabulous in that reddish, pinkish, goldish gradient dress. Oh, her hair was curled up so it looked shorter and cute, and her lipstick perfectly matched the colors in the dress, and oh boy, didn't those blue eyes, those big, beautiful blue eyes look filled with regret. I don't know, was it regret for all that has happened before, or was it regret for what she's about to do? Oh, I don't know, but it's gonna be a big scandal, whatever's gonna happen. And Leanna Love is gonna be all too happy to cover it. I don't know why it is that I keep thinking that I don't like Leanna Love. She is phenomenal. I wish that she was on the show full time. She is funny. She is just, I don't know what it is about her, but she's got presence. She's sassy. She's beautiful. I mean, she looks exactly the same as I remember her. I don't think she has aged a single day. I think it's that she has personality. She's clearly a comedic actress. And I think she would really add some spice to the show on the reg. I guess it just must have been introduced to her character at a time when she was being given bad material or something, and then maybe my first impression of her is what always has stuck with me, but I'm really looking forward to seeing her digging up the juicy juice on whatever hell is about to break loose next week. Phyllis met Jeremy up in a hotel room upstairs in the athletic club, where he seemed to be pulling out of his backpack what looked like a duplicate of Phyllis's mask and a little bottle of something. It almost seems like maybe they're going to try to do a switcheroo or a dupe of some kind. Like maybe the plan is to make it look like Phyllis is dead and he's going to inject her with some looking like she's dead juice. We've seen that before. And then, of course, just to frame Diane and make it look like Diane did it and send her off to jail forever. I mean, because it does seem like Phyllis's style to go ahead and fake her own death so that she can, hover around in the background at her own funeral listening to what people are going to say about her. I mean, that is very Phyllis. What's more Phyllis than that? It's attention seeking. It's all the attention's on her if she's dead. Plus, if Diane can fake a death, then so can Phyllis. And, maybe that's what she's thinking, that if she fakes her, Diane faked her death, so why couldn't I fake mine? If you have a fake death, do you go to fake hell? Oh, yeah. In the previews, it looked like Phyllis has somehow lured Diane up to the upstairs hotel room, which means that Phyllis has got Diane right where she wants her. So I guess now we just have to wait until next week to find out what she's planning to do. I don't think I can exactly state how excited I was to see Mamie this week. I think the only person that was maybe more excited to see Mamie this week was Jack. Did you guys see the little yes dance move that Jack did to Billy? It just, like, yes, look, it's Mamie, oh my God. Like, it just seemed so earnest from Peter Bergman, and also so very warranted for Veronica Redd. I think I must have been far too young to fully appreciate her performances on the show in the past, because I think I appreciated it on a different level seeing her now. She really gives great facial expressions and very thoughtful deliveries, and I felt that she totally commanded her presence everywhere she went, especially in the Abbott home. When Jack threw open the door and said, "Welcome home," I just got the chills. I mean, damn straight, that's Mamie's home. Mamie raised those kids. She raised John's 3 kids when Dina abandoned the family. And I thought she was being awfully kind when she was speaking of Dina to Jack, because we all know she hated Dina. She hated her. And Mamie also hated anybody that dated John after that, including Jill. Because, you know, Mamie was in love with John, and John actually confessed that he loved Mamie too, shortly before he fell into a coma. It looks like the love was finally going to be acknowledged and requited, and then John goes into a coma, and Jill gave her $1 million to get out of town, which Mamie took. Apparently she took $1 million and then turned it into 10 through her wise investing. You go, Mamie. Good. Mamie's loaded, now we know. Yeah, after all those years, I really appreciated that. And I thought that, I thought it was good that Jill approached Mamie at the party and tried to extend an olive branch. She wasn't immediately just going to pick back up on the rivalry. But Mamie doesn't have to take Jill's olive branch. Mamie just said no. And kept on moving. No, I don't want to be friends with you. And kept on moving with her head held high. She can do that. That's her right. She doesn't have to accept Jill's apology. Gosh, Y&R wrote a lot of good lines for her, too. The second she walked through the door and looked at Jack and said, "Wow, how long has it been since you redecorated?" I was dying. Decades, Mamie. It's been decades since the Abbotts have redecorated, and that's fine. No need for a redecoration. It happened once, and I'll never forgive and forget it. But I mean, in the flashbacks from the 90s, you could see Mamie standing by the mantle today versus the flashbacks from the 90s, and absolutely everything on the mantle was the same. The mirror was the same, the tchotchkes on the mantle were the same, same, and I don't care, I loved it. I love it. I do think they gave that mantle a good dusting, though. Just so that Mamie could stand in front of it, because I mean that was an amazing then and now shot. Absolutely amazing, absolutely precious. Just same woman, same place, probably 30 years ago. So much looking the same, yet so much having changed. I also really liked when Jack sat her down for some tea and asked her, "How long has it been since you've been in Genoa City?" And she just kind of gave him a sly grin and said, "It's been a long time." I thought that was great, because it really felt, from a fan perspective, that her character just disappeared. She was just gone. She was there every day, and then one day she was just gone. And she was sort of referred to for a while in the way that Mrs. Martinez is referred to now. Like, referred to but never seen. Who do you think, poll question, who do you think makes the better cinnamon rolls? Mamie or Mrs. Martinez? And do you think that Mamie and Mrs. Martinez came face to face? I mean, they would have had to have, right? It would have to have happened off screen, though, because I think if Mamie and Mrs. Martinez were ever on screen at the same time, a black hole might rip open in the universe. There is only one person guilty of breaking the agreement here, Devon, and that person is you. Ooh, Amanda. Her grapes were sour and salty and bitter and old. There were no bygones being bygones for Amanda. But I have to admit, Amanda totally slam dunked the arbitration case in my eyes. She said, "You're not allowed to change the rules in the middle of the game, Devon." And I think that is so true. I mean, Christine gave a very passionate speech about Devon building the company together with his father, but arguing that Devon was coerced into the merger just did not ring true to me. And if the parties never agreed specifically to not take the new company public, then Devon didn't really have a leg to stand on. I mean, is it crappy that Lily and Jill railroaded him, kind of teamed up together and pushed it forward, kind of outvoted him? Yeah, it's crappy, but it's not illegal. I think Devon knew he was about to lose. He was so rattled by Amanda's scathing opening statements that he had to ask the arbitrator for a recess so that he could go out to the jungle gym and cry about it. He was about to lose. He was gonna lose, and he knew it. So it's a good thing that Jill has a lot of flair for drama, and she does too. I think Jill is the unofficial drama queen of the century. She really knows how to make an entrance. I felt like Jill was in really rare form this week at the arbitration and also at the party. But it also was kind of inconsistent with her character because, you know, the only thing we've seen of Jill over the past year, or at least this year, the only thing we've seen of her is this single-minded focus that she has to take Chancellor Winters public. All of this was her idea in the first place, and yet she let herself be late to the arbitration hearing to stop by the ranch and get manipulated by Victor. He offered to become her private investor in order to stop the IPO from happening and reunite the Winters family, you know, for Dominic's sake. What? Record scratch. He actually said that he wants Chancellor Winters to stay in private hands so that Neil's company could be passed on through Devon to Dominic. First of all, does no one care about the Chancellor legacy? It is all about Hamilton Winters now, the Winters side of it. Nobody cares about the Chancellor side of it. Second, the audience knows damn well that Victor is not doing this for Dominic or the Winters family or anybody else. He is doing this for himself and his legacy to ingratiate himself with his son. He wants Devon and Jill and Lily to be placated by his money so that he can have McCall Unlimited unchallenged. And Jill, after all these months on a dime, is suddenly acting like she's feeling remorseful about all of the damage that this has caused Lily and Devon's relationship. So, okay, she'll take Victor's money. She'll just take Victor's money all of a sudden on the promise that Victor won't want anything in return. Oh, he'll just give her the money and he's gonna just become a private investor with no opinion? Yeah, right. Well, all's well that ends well, I guess. Because at least it gave us a chance to see Jill bust up into the middle of the arbitration meeting, and she was gonna win it. She doesn't know it, but she was about to win it, and she just busts into the middle of the meeting and announces to everyone that she has the solution. The day is saved. Arbitrator, your services are no longer needed. Court dismissed. Gavel. Oh. And then when Lily and Devon asked her what changed her mind, she was totally dancing around the fact that Victor basically paid her off. Well, okay. But what if it's all too late? What if Lily and Devon decide they can't and won't work together now? After everything that has happened, what if, even after canceling the IPO, the company is still split in two? On the occasion of Genoa City's bicentennial, its 200th year, it seems that the entire town has decided to unite in order to reunite Lily and Devon and the Winters family legacy, which in part is centered around Neil's love of music, even more so than Neil and his businesses. It's music. So, yes. Who needs a glam club when we can have a Neil Winters jazz lounge? Please let us keep this. Please give this to us on a more permanent basis, Y&R. Because more than anything, I associate Neil with his nightclub, Indigo. That's what I first and foremost think of when I think of Neil and his love of music. So having a club space, a music space, a lounge space dedicated to him, that's just one of the best anniversary gifts that I think Y&R has given to us or could possibly give to us. The Glam Club, as lovely as it is lovely, but it feels like this space has some meaning. And I just love the way that it looks as if it's set in the basement. If you can see, there's off in the background, there's a staircase that's leading down. That is totally unique to any of the other public sets. You just walk into any of the other sets. Nobody comes downstairs into anything except, maybe the Abbott home. So I love that it has that basement vibe. I love that it's dark, because Y&R's visual darkness, high contrast visual darkness, is one of the things that always made Y&R stick out to me. It was daytime and it looked dark, and I just feel like that room in a basement lounge room really captures that again. I also really love the black piano in the background with the vintage microphone. I love the brass instrument sculpture that's on the wall. I love the indigo blue walls, and the red velvet curtain. It says Y&R to me. All of that says Y&R to me. And of course I love Neil's portrait on the wall. You've really made an impact on this town when you've got a portrait on the wall. And in a public space too. I wish the portrait had been tinted blue. It's tinted sepia. It's like a sepia photo of him, and I almost kind of wish it was more blue so that it matched the surroundings a little bit better, but I'll take it. I could swear there was another stage somewhere that was dedicated to Neil, but this is maybe this is more of a permanent dedication to Neil. So we've got that. I hope we get to keep it. I like the idea that Lily and Devon can come together over this to remember what Neil would have wanted. I mean, even more than a family business, because you can't have a family business without family. And right now, Lily and Devon and even Nate are a fractured family. I was kind of hoping that Mamie might be able to pick up on the tension that was going on there, between, Olivia and Drew's children, and maybe try to help them work it out. Maybe that'll happen next week. They promised to get together for lunch, so we'll see. Victor's pockets must be basically endless if he can afford to buy Jill out for the cash value that an IPO would bring, but then also turn around and buy Tucker's company. I mean, he essentially has unlimited money. Okay. But that's okay, because I want Adam and Victoria to run two rival companies, both having the Newman name. I think that's the best of both worlds. Adam and Victoria can duke it out while Nick wanders around looking cute in the middle. Being cute and funny in the middle. That sounds perfect to me. I really think that Mark Grossman and Amelia Heinle, I gotta look up how to say her last name. I think they both are really great in their scenes together. They both make these very delightfully evil facial expressions, and I think they play rivals really well. And I liked that Adam was able to pick up right away on the fact that there's more going on between Nate and Victoria when Nate stepped in to defend her honor. I mean, apparently everyone can clearly see Victoria and Nate's attraction for one another, and now Elena can clearly see it too. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I am loving Audra more and more every single day. Like, not as a human being, of course, but just as a deliciously evil little town troublemaker. She's really fitting the bill. Audra told Elena straight up that she thinks that there is something romantic going on between Victoria and Nate, and Audra suggested that maybe Elena should do a medical podcast about Victoria's ex, JT Hellstrom, to try to bring him back and distract Victoria away. Audra, you are something else. How did you pull that out? I mean, she said she's been researching Victoria. Researching her. She knew all about Ashlyn Locke. She came up with this idea about JT. And I honestly thought she was talking about Ryan at first, because she was just going on about one of Victoria's exes, a love of her life. And I thought of Ryan. Maybe my mind went there because I was thinking of the original Masquerade Ball where Victoria and Ryan were Romeo and Juliet. But yeah, that would be a real shocker. Y&R would really be pulling out all of the stops for the 50th anniversary if Ryan came back from the dead. Elena considered the JT podcast idea, but then she very smartly decided against it. I mean, maybe she'll change her mind now, I don't know, but I think that the whole idea of bringing JT back and trying to insert him into Victoria's life, I think that's just going to make her look desperate and manipulative, and that's not Elena. But maybe that's what Audra is wanting. I mean, considering Audra admitted that she wants Nate, maybe she's hoping to make Elena look desperate. That is complex. Oh, Audra. What a tangled web you are weaving here. 'Tis tangly and entertaining. But, well, between Victoria and Nate, following up on last week, things are definitely still tense. I mean, Nate turned down her little indecent proposal, and Victoria's wanting to act like nothing happened, but Nate has been trying to pop the tension. I mean, I think he's trying to make it not awkward, and Victoria was saying all the right things. She said, I was wrong, I shouldn't have done that, but then Nate pushed her. I mean, he kept pushing. She said, oops, sorry, my bad, inappropriate, and Nate pushed her into admitting that, well, actually, she doesn't think that. She's not sorry. She's not sorry. So 60% of you from the poll question last week felt like Victoria is in sexual harassment territory with Nate here, that you think 60% of you think that Victoria is sexually harassing Nate in the workplace. I'm still in the minority here. I voted that no, it's not sexual harassment yet, and I think that Nate's kind of losing some traction on any case that he would have for sexual harassment, because Victoria did try to stop it. He wouldn't let her. I think that Nate maybe just doesn't want the chemistry to end. He doesn't want the little bubble of attraction to end, but he also knows that he can't pursue it. So, but you can't go on that way forever. You can't have the attraction bubble forever. Without popping it. Maybe Elena's gonna pop it next week. I don't know, because she walked into that party and saw Nate and Victoria holding hands and gazing into each other's eyes. And oh, Elena. She honestly looked like she was dripping, not just in jealousy, but in diamonds. I mean, Elena looked gorgeous. And it completely reminded me that Elena, even though she's often seen in her cotton socks and her work attire and her sensible clothing, Elena is nobody's second fiddle. I mean, I think in that dress, especially, Elena needs to get in there and give Victoria a run for her money. I love some good old-fashioned romance from time to time. Good old-fashioned romance. That must have been a hard quote, because only 4 of you guys guessed that it was Sally. I thought everybody was going to be totally tuned into that Sally dream. When she had the dream that Adam brought her the flowers, she said, well, I just love some good old-fashioned romance from time to time. So yeah, wow, the answer was Sally. And just Henry, good old Marky, Ron, and Tina B got it right. So congratulations, you guys. That was apparently a hard one, and you got it. How about this one on the event of Genoa City's 200th year? Who said this? A charming little spot on the map grew up to be Genoa City. Oh, how true. I mean, it started out as seeming like a small town, and it's occasionally, it's like a New York City bustling metropolis, but then it turns around and it's a small town again. I don't exactly know what it is, but who said a charming little spot on the map grew up to be Genoa City? If you think you know, go to yrchat.com to leave your guess, and if you get it right, I will give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. I think I had a record number of comments this week. Oh, there's just so much to say, so let's get started. Astra says about the JT reference. Well, that was off the wall. I honestly thought she was talking about Ryan at first, but I guess he's the first love, plus he's dead, so that's not an option. But when I think of Victoria's true love in recent years, I think Billy fits that bill more than JT. I liked JT and Victoria when they first hooked up, but I never thought they were the loves of each other's lives. The powers that be seemed to invest more in Billy and Victoria as true loves, so it was weird to have Audra just gloss over him. Yeah, no kidding, Astra. The easier route for getting Victoria on with a past love would just be to try to reunite her with Billy, who's right there in town constantly, right here. As opposed to bringing, the long road of bringing back JT after the horrible domestic abuse that Victoria suffered. I mean, whether or not, brain tumor or not, reformation or not, it doesn't seem like it would be plausible or, for Victoria to just forget all of that and fall back in love with him as a quick fix to get her away from Nate. No, I don't think so. But speaking of Billy, Ellen says, Billy has revived his red velvet Broadway usher look for the gala. He should be in charge of the valet parking at the revolving door. But he has a cute and fresh haircut, too. He looks so good. And I thought his intro didn't quite show his personality as much. Not that he looked bad, but it's like seeing Jason Thompson on the Talk interviews. He's so charming. I mean, it's swagger. I completely see why he's probably very much loved on the set. I see why he has the job that he has. He is sexy. He is smart. He is funny. He is everything, and he has become Billy to me. But yeah, it's interesting that you said that about the red velvet jacket. Yeah, like, I got a kick out of that. Hey, and by the way, the other thing I have to do here is confess. I'm bored by Billy and Chelsea. It's just not doing it for me. Does anyone else feel this way? I feel terrible because I like the friend. I like them. They're fine, but they don't excite me. I was not invested in the will Chelsea go to the party or not go to the party. It's all very, it's frosting, but not even it's the frosting that comes out of the can, you know? It's not like a homemade yummy frosting. It's like, okay, I'll eat it if there's nothing else, I'll eat it, but I'm not going to go out of my way for it. Canned frosting, not fresh. Well, Kamna says, there were so many great one-line zingers on Thursday's show. I rewatched the scenes. A few of my favorites. Victor to Nikki, after 10 minutes, all hell will break loose, JK. Tucker to Jack, I got my shots, and I'm housebroken. Tucker. Amanda to Abby, let the grown-ups work this out. Woo, that was scathing. Adam to Victoria and Nate, are you going to the gala together for like a work thing? Victoria to Adam, playtime is over. And Sharon to Adam, I could use some arm candy. I heart this show, says Kamna. Yeah, I mean, the one-liners were fantastic all through the week. I mean, Mamie had some good ones. Yes, it was just so good. Tucker, I got my shots and I'm housebroken. I mean, that is freaking funny. They've got somebody writing some pretty good comedic material right now, and yeah, I loved it. Oh, about Tucker. Tina B says, I am loving Ashley and Tucker. I have cracked up at Tucker and his wisecracks, and I like how Ashley tries to act annoyed, but can't help herself from smiling. Yeah, oh, I found myself watching Tucker in the background during most of the crowd scenes. How is it that the actor can steal the scene from that far back? And Ashley's perfectly suited for him. She understands this man will never bore her. Oh, that's true. He's not boring. He'll never be boring even when he's bored. Oh, Tina Cole says, Y&R feels so special this week with the ball. I love when we can have these events and have all the characters together in one room. When watching the episodes, I feel like I want to hurry up and get dressed so I'm not late for the event. Yeah, I know, right? I felt the hustle and bustle. I felt the getting ready. I'm glad Y&R is taking this slow. We haven't even made it to the drama yet. I mean, we pretty much just spent the whole week getting ready for it. Oh, Y&R Viewer 123 says, I hope that GCAC has come back for good. I am sick of seeing the Grand Phoenix, or Noah's Club, as a hangout place. Crimson Lights I can still handle because it's a great set and one of my favorites, but the Grand Phoenix with the plain and boring set design, no thank you. I was asking myself this question. Would I rather have, which is better, the Genoa City Athletic Club or the Grand Phoenix? And, I think they're both very good sets. It's just that it's nice to mix things up every once in a while. Grand Phoenix is fine to me. It doesn't bother me. I don't think it's boring. I mean, I think it's, it's sparkly. It's got some pizzazz to it. It's got the beautiful glass doors in the front. I don't think it's a bad set by any means. It's just that after looking at something for a while, it's nice to be able to mix it up. And Diana says, I love seeing the Athletic Club again. It has so much nostalgia, and it's cozy and classy. I'm glad Y&R decided to have the gala there. It was a great choice that they made in having the 50th anniversary event there. I think Y&R chose the GCAC because it felt like the fans would connect with this set, as it brings back the audience to all the memories they carry of the characters and their scenes there. We also got to see the hotel room, which was nice to see again. And we haven't seen that room since Diane stayed there last. I like the special jazz room dedicated to Neil. This was a nice idea to honor both the character and the actor. Y&R did a great job for the 50th celebration with all of their choices, beginning with the photo shoot outside the club. All of it was enjoyable. Yeah, I think nostalgia is the theme here. I think Y&R knows 50 years is no small potatoes. We have to lean into the fact that a lot of viewers do want nostalgia out of it. They want to reminisce about the 50 years. Not Henry. I know Henry doesn't like the flashbacks, but surely, you know, it stirs something in you to see that athletic club set or see something that feels nostalgic to you. And it is a beautiful set. It's very brown. It is a brown set. I like it. It feels warm. I mean, they even had the same candle holders on the tables. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same. But you know what? Darn it, I want exactly the same sometimes. I want to flip around here and there, but it's the same as it is with the Abbott Mansion. I like that it's the same. Oh, and that set is very expansive, by the way. I mean, you can see there's the seating area. It's got, you know, the divider in the middle of it, but it's got a seating area. It's got the tables. It's got the bar. The athletic club has dimension. And speaking of Henry says, what a beautiful way to honor Christophe St. John as The Young and the Restless celebrates 50 years. I realize other cast members have passed away as well, but to honor Christophe/Neil Winters was very thoughtful and just an overall nice touch. I truly love the show. Yes, I love the jazz club too. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities there to hang out and just chill, maybe have some musical guests, probably next week. But Sherrod says, well, I know Tessa Porter won't be singing there. The only person who's an actual singer on this show. But maybe they'll have Danny Romalotti and Gina Roma sing since they're there, because you shouldn't be allowed to dedicate a jazz room and nobody gets to perform in it. Yeah, you're right. Gina and Danny will probably do a performance next week. Maybe Tracy too, maybe Lauren, I'm not sure. But boy, here's a great point. We don't see Tessa or Mariah at the gala. Why? They have unlimited money. They couldn't get a babysitter for one night. I mean, especially when you're new parents, you need to get out of the house. So that's disappointing, especially knowing that, I mean, Tessa's the singer. Tessa should be there to sing. Not only is she not there to sing, but we haven't heard any updates on what's happened with her vocal nodules. I mean, she can talk. She seems to have made a recovery, but we haven't heard her singing since then. So I don't know if that's something that maybe Y&R has planned for the future, but certainly Tessa's absence at the dedication of a new jazz club is glaring. I wonder if the jazz club really will stick around, or if it's just going to be a temporary set, maybe used to unite Lily and Devon. We look at it for a little while and then it goes away. I'm not sure. But Daisy has this great point saying, well, Jill should have made a new contract for Devon, ensuring that his company would never be a part of anything other than a family, as in shares of his company would never be sold to the public. And if Jill reneged, then Devon had the right to remove his company from Chancellor Winters. At least then Devon would have on paper an assurance, which might help him stay at the company. Good point, Daisy. That's the simplest thing that Jill could have done to ensure that Devon comes back into the fold. Look, I'll put it, you want it in writing, I'll put it in writing. We won't take the company public, because otherwise it's just on good faith. And that was what Devon went into all of this with in the first place, good faith, thinking that his values aligned with Lily and Jill's values, only to find out that they didn't. So the quickest way to alleviate that for the future would be to put it in a new contract. Oh, Naomi says, love, love, love Adam and Sharon arriving just behind Nick and Sally. Great moment. And wowee, didn't Jeremy look so very handsome? Everyone looks fantastic, and I'm thrilled that the party is at the athletic club. Much better than GP or the Velvet Glam Place. Yeah, I love that the reporters forced Nick and Sally and Sharon and Adam into a photo together, as if the reporters just knew that was going to be awkward and jammed it. And they did the same thing with Lily and Devon, too. Oh, this is awkward. Let's jam them into a photo opportunity together. But you have made a great point here also about Jeremy. I should not have overlooked him. He wasn't with the general population of partygoers, but Jeremy, he might very well have been the best dressed male. I mean, it was sort of a velvet gray silverish jacket that he had on, matched his gray hair and his handsome face. I mean, if he dies, it's going to be a damn shame, because that man is so good looking. And every time he's on the screen, that's all I'm thinking. He really is good looking. It'd be nice if we could keep him, but I get the feeling he's a goner. Well, Victoria says, just give me a minute to adjust my dunce cap here. I'll need more white brain matter to go on pause as we get closer to the gala. Jack's security team must be taking a lot of coffee breaks if they're not aware of Phyllis and Jeremy's whereabouts during the gala. Where are the bugs in his room to hear their nefarious plan? For Jeremy to say that no one will recognize him masked is laughable. He is so distinct in all of his handsomeness. But I'll go along for the ride because I'm loving the show. Just give me a minute to get my cap back on my head. Yes, suspend that disbelief, Victoria. Suspend it. Oh, T. Nicole says, so Phyllis is going to fake her own death and have Diane framed for it. Oh, wow, the irony. If Phyllis feels she has no relationship with her kids anymore, then she's okay going on pretending that she's dead. Phyllis kept saying that this plan is life or death for her. How life-threatening is this plan? Her reaction today in Jeremy's hotel room did not seem like this is some more simple set Diane off to prison. But if something goes wrong in the plan, Phyllis might actually end up dead. It feels like Phyllis is truly ready to give up everything she has, including her children, to fake her death and run away from them all. Yeah, it does sound like whatever it is, it doesn't feel very cut and dry. It does feel like Phyllis has a sense that her life is on the line. Yeah, I mean, in one way or another it is. Jamie says, I have a pit in my stomach after my girl Phyllis said her ominous teary-eyed sentiments to her kids. I really hope she has a flood of goodwill and turns the tables on Jeremy before it's too late. I feel that she's in way over her head with him, and that the plan has gone from a soapy eye for an eye revenge plot into a real evil. Come on, girl, please don't leave my screen. Well, maybe, Jamie, there's still hope, because Sue W. says, I'm wondering if it's at all possible that Phyllis is planning to double-cross Jeremy and catch him as a bad guy in an attempt to protect Jack, but somehow still bring down Diane. I don't know how, and probably whatever she does or doesn't do will backfire anyway. I don't know, the whole loony twist on Bold and the Beautiful made me wonder if there's more to her alliance with Jeremy than meets the eye. Yes, this is absolute truth. There's every possibility that Phyllis will change her mind at the end. She has been seen having second thoughts here and there, and she was so remorseful when saying those, well, what seemed like goodbyes to Summer and Daniel, right? I mean, she was basically telling them, I want you to know I'm proud of you. I mean, that's the sort of thing you would say as a, I don't know if I'm ever going to see you again kind of goodbye. So I think there's a possibility that she is going to fake her own death, that she knows she's going into something risky, and that she at least knows that she's not going to see them for a long, long, long time. But it's also possible she'll decide to change her mind at the last minute, and that's the twist. We never know. Oh, well, did you guys watch those talk interviews? It was wonderful, wonderful. I have to say that every time I watch any kind of cast interview, though, it does have some kind of backfire effect on me, because I watched the one where Michael Grossaday, who plays Daniel, proposed to his longtime girlfriend on screen. I mean, right there on the talk set, he got down on one knee with an engagement ring for her and proposed. And it was so lovely. And I immediately became overwhelmed with guilt for how much I lust for him on a daily basis. I mean, looking into the eyes of his long-term girlfriend, I mean, they've been together for 10 years. They have 2 children. I suddenly just felt terrible, like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm constantly like, oh, he's so dreamy. But I mean, then I think, I'm not lusting over Michael. I'm lusting over Daniel. So it's okay, right? Well, speaking of the talk, Gary says, let's have the talk. Peter Bergman is a great man. With his Prince Charming appeal and fine acting, he might have been successful with an acting career beyond soaps, but he was able to wisely stay content within his own arena to where he proudly retains his role of head of the Abbott family today. Whenever Peter Bergman appears as himself to promote Y&R, he is bursting with enthusiasm and excitement for a role that he's played for over, 30 years? Peter Bergman makes a fan feel really, really good. I had always read how loved Peter Bergman was by his cast, all of the compliments reaped on him in different areas, and when you see him as himself, you understand why. I want to honor Peter Bergman for how he has always honored Y&R and the delight that he's found in playing Jack Abbott, wisely knowing the grass is not necessarily greener somewhere else. Always work with what you've got and make it joyful. That is what he's done. Oh, Gary, that's a wonderful and such a true comment. I was overwhelmed to see him on those talk interviews as well. There's no one who could be a better brand ambassador. I mean, he really seems to just have a genuine, as you say, enthusiasm, excitement for Y&R. And I think that the cast really is expected to be positive brand ambassadors. They're expected to go out there and tell people how much they love the show and how much they love the fans. It seems that all of the actors, most of them anyway, seem to have a sense of how important the fans are, but I mean, nobody navigates it quite the way that Peter Bergman seems to. It really comes off as completely genuine, and when you know how lucky you are, that's probably just how he feels, just lucky to be where he is, and it exudes joy. It really comes through, and I of all of the cast, the new photos and everything, I thought he looked gorgeous at the gala, and the little photos that they had in the midway point of the show. He looked really great. I love that he's had a lot more focus, especially in the past year as Diane has come into his life, and it'll be continually interesting to see what he does next week as the drama unfolds. Well, final comment, Shelley says, woohoo! Y&R celebrates 50 years, and so will I, as I'll be 50 in a few weeks. I've been watching the show since I was 13 years old. It is a part of me in ways that only true fans like Allie and the Chatters can understand. Allie, I've been an absolute loyal listener to the podcast since I found you, gosh, at least 10 or 11 years ago, and one of my favorite things to do now and then is just randomly scroll back and choose an episode of Y&R Chat from years ago to see what was happening at the time. It's just so much fun. Oh, Shelley, happy almost 50th birthday. I went through my calendar. I don't think I know the exact date of your birthday, so I'll just tell you happy birthday here and now. And yeah, it's like the special thing about Y&R too is that we kind of gauge our own milestones right along with it. This is their 50th anniversary being on the air, but it's the year of your 50th birth, the year of your birthday and 50th birthday. And for me, I think this year, the same year of Y&R's 50th anniversary is my 30th year of watching the show. I think it's the 15th year of Y&R Chat, maybe. So it's just, we kind of gauge ourselves against these milestones with the show. And I think Y&R knows that. I think they have a sense of that, and that's why they're folding these type of nostalgic elements back into the show. Also, in terms of saying Y&R is a part of me that only other fans can understand, I totally get it. I mean, sometimes, when I'm interacting with people in my daily life, they look at me like I'm an alien that just dropped off of, a different planet. And I think a lot of it is just because so much of my reality is probably skewed from, watching this show every day since I was 13. You were 13 when you started. I was 13 when I started. And, that is in ya. I feel like the Y&R kid. at 13 so impressionable, and to watch it every day for all of that time, it can't not be a part of your fabric. So it's like, people ask me like, you think I'm weird? It's like, no, I'm just a Y&R fan. Like, I mean, I'm probably the way that I talk is influenced by, even dialect probably is influenced by the way that Y&R has taught me to speak, the way that I approach things, the things that I look for, in life. I mean, it's just all right there. And as you say, only other fans can really understand it. How wonderful that we have a place where we can bond and over that. I mean, I feel that too. Also, Shelley had a question. How do you prep for your recording? When it asked me how I prepped for my recording, do you jot down points from notes and speak from those, or do you have more detailed scripts that you think about and rehearse before you record? You just seem to wing it. Which is impressive because you don't miss a beat and are simply a joy to listen to. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I hope that what you get from this is joy. That is my intention, because I feel joy watching it and sharing it. And I have to write notes. And this week definitely took a little bit of extra time too. Yeah, after every episode I write down the key plot points, because I will not remember them from Monday to Sunday. I mean, it would be gone. So yes, I do have a ritual of writing down the key plot points before, immediately after the episode, and then on Saturday is when I bring together all of the comments and also try to coalesce my notes into a basic outline, so I know, I'm going to talk about this story, then that story. And yeah, if I didn't do that, it would be totally unstructured, and I would completely forget what I was saying right in the middle of it, which happens mostly anyway. Because a lot of what I say is just out there off the cuff. I laughed last week because Ellen left a comment on the website saying, "Hey, we really liked or I really liked your macaw hen impression last week." And it's funny, I saw the comment and I thought, I completely forgot that I did that. Everything kind of exists here right in this moment, and then I just sort of drift on to the next thing, and then to be reminded that, oh yeah, that was kind of a funny moment. And I didn't even remember it. So, so it's a little bit of both. There's definitely some prep work, and also definitely some off-the-cuff stuff. The off-the-cuff stuff is definitely the more memorable. Oh, so many memories. I mean, 50 years of Y&R. Have you watched from day one? If you've watched from day one, this is your week to go to yrchat.com and come talk to us. Maybe tell us, do you remember anything about that day? Do you remember anything about the surroundings you were in when you first saw that Y&R episode? Or, honestly, anybody. Do you remember the first episode you ever saw? Where were you? Were you in a particular, room of your house? What was going on in your life then? I mean, it's an opportunity to celebrate Y&R's 50 years, but I think this is really also an opportunity to celebrate our love for the show, whether it's been 50 or 30, or whether you just started watching too. Is there anyone here who's a newer viewer of the show and just kind of getting into it and understanding, the special little jewel that it is, and thinking that, gee, you'd like to watch it for years and years and years too? This is your week. This is a week for, just to celebrate all of us, all of the Y&R love of the show, for the show, and interpersonally between all of us fans too. So website is what it's there for. I did a little bit of remaking things over this week, so if you haven't been to the website in a while, this is a good week to go and see the changes. It just didn't feel right to let a party go by and not redecorate the website, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe I can do a little something seasonally with it too. I've got the way I reworked it, I've got a little bit of space to maybe do something springy in a couple of weeks, or maybe decorate it for Christmas. I'm looking at the website a little bit more like the coffee house. Or if Sharon's house is gone, maybe I can add some kitsch here and there. Oh, yeah. So definitely go check that out. Leave your comments. See all the photos. I mean, I think I uploaded, just on the Friday show, I think I uploaded 80 photos just from Friday. Oh, it's disgusting. I have a total total nerd. My web host hates me for all of the bandwidth that I use on all of these photos. So let the work not go for naught. Go look at all of the gala photos, the beautiful fashion photos, all the moments. I think that's what I love about the photos. It's just moments, moments, moments. Ooh, I have to have this moment. And sometimes it's so micro. Sometimes it's like the absolute flash of an eye that I know that's the one I have to get. So go check out the redesign, go check out the photos, the games, and chat with each other. Tell us about the first time you saw a Y&R episode, anything you want to do to keep the celebration going, and we'll be back next week to keep the drama going. I love you guys. Have a wonderful week. Happy anniversary. Bye.